Hey everyone, it's Alex, and welcome to episode 4 of my Recording to Releasing series. Today we're going to be talking about distribution and how to get your music over to sites like Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, Deezer, YouTube, Pandora, Tidal, iTunes, and a bunch of other ones as well. So Distributor is really just a company that's going to send your music to all of these services so that people can listen to it worldwide. On the majority of these services, you really can't submit the music yourself, so you have to go through either a label or a distribution service. And although a lot of these distribution services have label services, they don't actually own any of your music. So with the label services, many of these companies will also offer things in addition to distributing your music, like publishing, so you're getting writing credit on these and it's being registered properly, YouTube monetization through their Content ID system. They may provide sync licensing and playlist pitching as well. So a lot of these are just tailored to what you may or may not need as an artist. So I've used 3 of these services in the past, and those are the 3 that I'm going to be comparing today, which I think are also pretty much the big 3 anyway. Those are TuneCore, CD Baby, and DistroKid. Now it's also important to note that while these each have different pricing structures and they offer different things that they have available to you as a musician and an artist, there isn't really a one-size-fits-all model. Each of these has a little different pricing structure. Some of them take commission, other ones have a yearly fee, sometimes it's just a one-time fee. So it really just depends on what you're looking for and a lot of the projection on what your music is expecting to sell or make monetarily, which may or may not outweigh some of the yearly subscription costs, the upload costs, or the commission that these companies may take. So first off, let's start with TuneCore. The TuneCore is kind of cool because it was the first distribution platform like this to offer no commission and just pay a yearly fee. So the way that works right now at their current pricing structure is an album is $29.99 for the first year and $49.99 every year after that. If you release a single, it's $9.99 per year. Now, like I said, TuneCore doesn't take commission on any of these sales, but it is important that you pay your yearly fees. Once you don't pay your yearly fees, your music is going to get taken off of the DSPs, or the digital service providers like Apple Music and Spotify, and that obviously isn't good if you want to have your music up. So the downside of this pricing structure, where there's a yearly fee per individual releases, is that it can quickly stack up if you have a large music catalog. So if you release a single and every year you have to pay $10, it's really not that much at the end of the day. It's $10 per year. But what you would want to keep track of is that whether or not that particular single is generating at least enough revenue to balance out. At the current streaming rates that Spotify pays, you would need about 3,122 streams to break even on that single. Conversely, with Apple, you would need about 1,784 streams to break even on that single. In that same vein, if you put out an album, on Spotify, you would need that album to stream a total of 15,622 times to break even. On Apple, it would need to be streamed 8,927 times to break even. So those aren't massively unattainable numbers, but it's something to keep in mind, because if you're going to just be putting out music for the sake of putting out music and not really putting a huge push behind the marketing or getting active fans, that can really add up long term. So an alternative to this type of pricing is something like what CD Baby offers. Now for CD Baby, an album costs $29 to put out, and that's indefinitely. That's never going to get taken down. You don't have to pay a subscription or a yearly fee for that. It's just up there for life. A single is going to be $9.95. Now this is a little misleading because with CD Baby, what this pricing doesn't include is the UPC, which is essentially the barcode that you would need for distributing a product. So for an album, you can buy this for $20, and a single, you can buy it for $5. So really what that adds on is that an album to put out is going to be $49, and a single is going to be $14.95, which all things considered is still pretty cheap. However, the differentiating factor between CD Baby and TuneCore and DistroKid is that they keep 9% of your digital distribution revenue. So of all the streams that you have, and then all of the sales on either Amazon or iTunes, they're going to keep 9% of that as a commission fee. Now with this commission fee, that's just something you would have to do the math for with your projected streams or sales and see if that's worth doing for you, because that can add up in the long run. But again, if you're just kind of putting out music for people to listen to and not really trying to sustain it and make a whole lot of money off of it, that can be a little more better looking option than having to pay X amount of dollars per year just to keep your music up. So my old band Flashback Flash used CD Baby to get our stuff online, and another reason that we chose them as our distributor was that CD Baby is really the only major distributing platform like this that prints CDs. So the cool thing about this is that you don't have to really do anything other than just enable CDs to be printed on your behalf. If somebody orders a CD, they print it out, they ship it to the customer without you having to do really anything on the back end. So with this, they keep $4 per CD. So anything you charge beyond that is just going straight to you. So I think we sold our CDs for anywhere from $10 to $20, depending on what kind of sales we were running. So if we sold a CD for $10, we would essentially get $6 out of that. So this offers a really cool option for people who really want to have the ability to send CDs to people. Now lastly, let's take a look at DistroKid. Now DistroKid's a little newer to the distribution game, but they offer a lot of really cool forward-thinking benefits to current musicians. Similar to TuneCore, they offer a yearly subscription fee, but it's just based on a yearly subscription to you subscribing to the platform. What that means is that it's not going to be charged per release. Essentially, you have the musician plan, which is $19.99 per year and allows you to release an unlimited amount of music for one artist. You have Musician Plus, which is what I use, and what that allows you to do for $35 a year is distribute an unlimited amount of music for 2 separate artists. Lastly, they have their label plan, which for $79.99 a year, you get to release unlimited amounts of music for 5 artists. Now, obviously with this ends up being the cheapest, especially if you want to release multiple songs or multiple albums within the span of a year. You're not being charged individually for each song that you put out. DistroKid doesn't take any commission on this either, so it's a really low barrier to entry as far as cost goes to get your music out there. Another cool thing is that for $12 a year, you can release cover songs, and they cover what's called your mechanical license on there and allows you to release that to distribution platforms without getting into any legal trouble. So for DistroKid, there's a low barrier to entry as far as the cost goes, and I find it to be very beneficial to artists that are just putting out music because there's not a limit on how much music you can put out, and you're not going to be restrained by the cost. You can essentially put out music on your own schedule, and you don't have to be super worried about recouping that from your streams and your album sales just to sustain your songs being up on distribution platforms. So now knowing a little bit more about these big 3, hopefully you have enough information to go and kind of make an informed decision about which one you want to use. You can also do some research. There's plenty of other distribution services out there as well that are different than these 3, so definitely do your research on that. These are just the 3 that I've used in the past that I've had pretty good results with. So with this release, I'm actually going to be using DistroKid. I used them for my band's last release and had a really good experience with it, and they offered a lot of really cool features for a really nice price. So I'm going to go ahead and get that started and submitted so that I can get this online and for people available to listen to it around the world. So in my next video, I'm actually going to be going through the whole upload process and submitting everything through DistroKid for the release of this song. So I hope you stay tuned for that. Thanks again for watching, and please subscribe and leave some comments in the comment section if you have any questions, or let me know what you look for in a distribution service. And I hope to see you next time. Thanks again.